illuminating objects from a lens flare. Now look at a source of light. We suggest a light bulb, not the sun. Now close your eyes halfway and you will see flares from the light bulb. Then put your fingers or whatever in front of the light flare, but not blocking the bulb, and you can see that the flares appear to be in front of your fingers and they block your fingers out of sight, even though the real light source is behind your finger. That is how you tell a real light source from a lens flare. Back to our photo here, and you can see the second sun is partially blocked out of view by a cloud. So all in all, it's a pretty good capture. Next one is not in a very high definition, but it is still quite okay in my opinion. Again, in the same positions, you can see the second sun clearly and a corner of it is blocked out by the cloud. The next two photos were taken quite long ago already, but they are of very good qualities and they are perfect proof of Planet X up there. So let me show them to you. These photos was taken in Northern Europe in 2015. The left one was in Sweden and the right one was in Finland. Now let's go through them one by one and have a bit of analysis. The Sweden photos show clearly two sources of light in the sky, and we know for sure they are both real because you can see both reflections in the water. If this is not evidence enough for you to believe in Planet X, then I'm not sure what will. Then on the right, the object is also clearly visible and we have a cloud blocking it out of sight. Also the cloud is quite thin, so we can see the bottom half of the object blurrily visible. Another great shot here taken on the beach. Again, not only do we have two illuminating objects in the sky, but also we have two reflections clearly visible on the water surface below. Lens flares or other atmospheric phenomena can only create a mirage, and as we all know, mirage do not have reflection. Therefore, we can be certain that a planetary object is lurking up there. Here's a proof of what I just said. At first, it might seem like there are three suns here, but the two on the sides clearly do not reflect at all because they are nothing more but mirage. They are an illusion to our eyes, but they have no effects whatsoever on their physical surroundings. So here is another tip for you guys when watching the sky. Don't just focus on the strange things you see, but also pay attention to everything else around them to make sure that you are not being fooled by a normal natural phenomenon. Also, notice what all these photos have in common. They are taken where the sun's position is quite low, dawn and dusk. As a result, the sunlight is not very strong, and only because of that, other objects can be visible in the sky. Another great photo here, again on the beach. You can see that it's not another mirage in the sky, but a real celestial body, radiating somewhat crimson red lights and reflecting on the surface of the water below. I have one more photo here taken at dusk. We have the other sun or Planet X on the bottom right corner as usual, and being blocked out of sight by the cloud. I want to end the video today with this capture in this photo. Even though neither the sun nor Planet X is visible, their reflections are. They seem too bright, and there was also clouds, so they seem to blend into one shiny block. But they are still two clear and distinct light sources seen from the water. And that's actually it for today, guys. I hope these thoughts make your opinions a bit more firm, especially when frauds and tricksters are all over the place. So as usual, I would really appreciate if you guys can subscribe to our channel so we can keep you posted on this topic, as well as many other interesting ones such as the Wi-Fi of Yellowstone National Park or the fissures opening up on Yellowstone magma chamber. New videos and updates will come out very soon and very often, so be sure to stay tuned. In the meantime, keep looking to the sky, guys, as well as your physical surrounding, and beware of internet trolls. Stay safe. This is JT at X-Side, signing out. I have been coming across a lot of fake second suns images and videos all over the internet. And it is really baffling to me that these people who are confused or attention-seeking make up a lot of stories around the fake evidence and feel further confusion and panic. I mean, look at this photo here. There are clearly 3 spots of lens flare. I mean, everyone can tell those are lens flares. Yet, a not so small Planet X channel claimed that those are 3 objects in the sky aligning. And I'm seriously concerned that people actually believe in that. It is talks and photos like these frauds that make people like us, the ones who really want to keep the public informed, lose gravity in our arguments. Hello everyone, it's JT here at X Science. As you can tell, I am quite upset at the moment because frauds like these are all over the place. And somehow, a lot of people in the panics and confusion believe in these things. And so today I want to tell you 2 things. First, I want you to take a look at our videos about lens flares and camera errors, both of which are very recent, to make yourself informed of how to distinguish frauds and real objects captured in the sky. I seriously mean it, and I would really like you guys to do that before continuing this video. I'll put the links to those 2 videos in the description box of this video, so please watch them now. They are not too long and they are very important for you to tell whether or not I'm bringing real captures of weird objects in the later part of this video or not. Okay. Now that you are equipped with the basic skills to tell the lens flare and the real object apart, let's go to these photos and footage together. Right, first one. This was captured in this February in New York City. So is it real or fake? Think about it yourself, and I'm going to tell you the answer in a bit. Okay, got your answers? Well, it's real, because these other 2 objects next to the sun are both partially blocked out of view by the branches. Therefore, they are a real light source and not a flare. Also, in case you are wondering why no branch block out parts of the sun, well, that's because the sun is too bright and these branches are too thin. The other 2 objects are dimmers, and so only they were blocked out a bit. Okay, next one. Real or fake? Answers in a few seconds. Yes, this one is also real. You can see the second sun is blocked out of sight by the clouds in front of it. Again, our sun doesn't seem to be blocked, but this is only because of its intense brightness, and it is actually blocked a bit because you can see the top part of it is a bit flatter than the bottom parts. That's because what we see on the top is not the real sun, but only its bright light flaring through the clouds. But the second, smaller and not as bright object's top part is blocked out completely by the same cloud. How about this photo here? Okay, so this is quite a similar case compared to the photo in the beginning of this video. You can see a beam of lens flare, not only in the sky but also before the rocky background. If I were the channel that I allude to in the beginning, I would tell you that we are having 9 weird planetary objects visible and aligning in the sky, ignoring the fact that a 5-year-old can tell those are lens flares. The moral of the story again is, don't believe everything that you guys see or hear on the internet. Here's another photo of lens flare that can be made up into a system of 7 planets aligning. Please, those flares, these little ones, might be more solid, but they are still nothing than flares. In case you don't know, planets do not shine. They reflect lights, and therefore when the sun is that bright, they simply cannot be visible, especially if they appear that small. Here are some more difficult cases. these 4 photos. Now let's go through them from top left and follow a clockwise direction. The first one might seem convincing because both suns are partially blocked out by the clouds, but if you investigate closely, you can see that the block made by the clouds as well as the lights and flares around the two suns are exactly the same. Even their sides are the same. This is of course impossible in reality. So this is a very good Photoshop product that we are looking at, guys. So again, be very careful when it comes to these topics. That's the second one. This one is a real captures because you can see a bit of the bottom part of the sun is blocked out of view. Then the third one is only lens flare because it is transparent and it appears in front of the grassy background and not blocked out at all. The last one is a difficult case. It looks real, but the second sun is too big and too bright, so I would still say that it is likely fake. The conclusion here is that some of these attention seekers may put a ton of photos and footage together, but only 1 or 2 is real, and they want to make you confused and keep watching them. Speaking of footage, I have this really interesting one taken in February this year. You can see the second sun is not very visible until you zoom in and you can see it blocked out by one of those electric pillar thingies, indicating that it is actually there. And that's all for today, guys. Please be careful when evaluating this proof that you see on the webs, and also choose your information provider carefully. By the way, subscribe to us because we have videos and updates coming out very often. Until we meet again, stay safe and look to the sky, guys. This is JT at X Science, signing out. A little bit more than an exact century ago, the world recorded the first ever phenomenon of the sun's jumping out of its place, flashing and radiating all kinds of lights in the skies, as if it was not the sun we know of at all, but somewhat a manipulated light bulb. What's up everyone, I'm JT here at X Science. Today I want to talk to you guys about a phenomenon called the miracle of the sun. If you have been our audience for a while now, you will know that I once talked briefly about it, as this thing was first recorded to happen in the city of Fatima in Portugal. It is also known as the miracle of Fatima. Hear how the story goes. The miracle of the sun is said to be done by Virgin Mary, who wants to enlighten humans and remind them of their wrongdoings. So on October 13th, 1917, she performs her miracles in front of millions of people. Of course, we have no visual proof because, this is centuries ago, guys, and cameras were not so popular and easy to use back then. If you guys have watched Wonder Woman, you would know that even in the time of World War II, 2 or 3 decades after the miracle of Fatima, cameras were still oversized and difficult to set up, and the miracle lasts only like 10 minutes or so. Then why should you believe this ever happened, you ask? because we also have hundreds of thousands of testimonies. The one most worth mentioning is that of Pope Pius XII, who witnessed the events from as far as the gardens of Vatican. In fact, the event became somewhat a milestone for Christianity, and it changed many practices of the religions. Hence, this happening is credible. Here's what happened. At first, there was a torrential downpour. After that, the sun appears as a swirling disk, kind of like, the galaxy's photo that you often see. It seems to have headed towards the Earth. The grounds and the attendees, who were shocked by the downpour, became dry almost instantly as the sun radiates crimson-red lines that seemed to penetrate the clouds. The sun then seems to jump out of its fixed positions and dance around in a trajectory toward the Earth, and at the same time radiating multicolored light rays. There are people who deny of the event, claiming that the harsh sunlight on that day caused mental and visual illusions to people on site. But don't forget, the Pope saw it from Vatican, and also I don't think it is possible for 1 million people to have the same illusion during the same 10 minutes. And what's more amazing is that the sun has been flashing and blinking more often recently, and we now have actual recorded visual proof of the occurrence. Most worth mentioning here is an event in Nigeria on October 13th of 2017. Note the time. It was exactly 100 years after the miracle of Fatima. This time, it was observed by 50,000 people, and everything follows almost exact same course. First, there was a downpour. Then, the sun blinked and changed its colors, and the people at the event were amazed. So amazed that many started to kind of worship what was happening right on the spot. And now we have here a video of what happened, so you can see it by yourself. Next, I'll show you a video taken on the Alps in the areas of France in late 2016. It's a time-lapse video captured by an outdoor cameras of people who study weather up there, and it shows clearly the sun radiating multicolored light rays, just like how it did in 1970. Okay, so that was in France in October of 2016. Here's some more. This following one was taken one day after the event of Nigeria.
I thought I'd take a recording with my tablet, which gives me all these crazy lens flares. I think it's because it's HD, HDR or something like that. It's kind of weird day today. I don't know, I just got this really weird feeling. I've been having night terrors and sleep paralysis, and I think my narcolepsy is gonna start kicking in again. This is what happens when I get stressed out. Whoa, you guys, did you see that flash? I'm not moving. What was that? Whoa. Whoa, did you see it again? It's flashed. Is it because I'm moving? I don't think so. The trees have grown so much I can't get a good view anymore of the sun. I don't know what that flashing was, but that was pretty freaky. It did it twice. Look at the beams from the sun.
I also have a footage here from a CCTV camera that was taken only 3 months ago. Next one, in December of 2017.
Simulator, and I got, see how, and there's a flashing again. But look, notice how there's like a bite out of the right side of the sun. Could that be something eclipsing it? Alright, zoom all the way out. Aha! It's flashing. Alright, someone had made a suggestion to check other devices at the same time. Hold on, I'm going to check my other device. Alright, I'm back. I checked, I have a phone, but you know, it's not the most updated phone, so it doesn't show it flashing there. But I have seen it flashing in that camera, and I've had other people look at their camera phones at the same time when I was noticing the flashing, and they saw it flashing too. Most of the time, I don't know. So it's a theory, but I'm going to keep researching that. It's not flashing now, so that might be the reason. But see, it's weird how it will flash and then sometimes it won't, and it doesn't matter. Sometimes it happens that, you know, zoomed all the way out, and sometimes zoomed all the way in. It's like there's a certain point of the zoom where it flashes. And like I've said before, well, there it goes there. I was going to say, you'd think it would flash more the more it's zoomed in. But I've had it flashing while it's totally zoomed out, and then zoomed in, nothing. So I don't know. I'm going to keep researching that. But anyway, not much going on except for the weird shape of the sun. And I'm going to take a quick peek at the moon over here, see if we can see that.
What's interesting about this one footage is that the guys who recorded this did not really believe his eyes at first, and you can see the cuts in the video, where he actually switched to the recording device to make sure that it's not a technical error. So no matter if it's from a phone or camera, the phenomenon persisted, indicating that it's nowhere near an illusion or focus error. Here's another one. This one's blinking is not as aggressive, and the pace is also slower than the previous footage I just showed you, but it's clearly is happening.
Just two rays shooting out the sides of the sun. That doesn't make any sense at all. And it feels like I'm under a magnifying glass. I feel like a bug being cooked. It's so strong. It's really hard to be out here. Ooh, it just got super bright. I didn't touch it. Wow. It's flashing. It's crazy. Is that under it? That cloud looks interesting. Looks like a face. Alright, the sun just shrunk. I can't decide what size it wants to be. Alright, going in.
The final one I want to show you guys today is taken in Indiana earlier this year. So what do you guys think? What could be the cause of this happening? Is it true that being above are trying to warn us at the Judgment Day because we have not been very good inhabitants on this planet? I mean, the first one in Fatima kind of changed Christianity. Then, the Nigerian one took place in a time of political unrest. And during that last 2 years, it took place all over the world, and there is no doubt that we are literally destroying the earth. From greenhouse gases and climate change to deforestation and the 6 mass extinctions, as well as plastic pollution. We are ruining it for ourselves and every other species on the planet. Or maybe it is harbingers of something big and bad that is coming, and it is causing upheaval all over the solar system. Well, whatever the reasons, I think these happenings are quite amazing, and no matter what they are, we should take them seriously as the signs of changes, and prepare ourselves for the upcoming apocalypse, be it the man-made pollutions or the change brought to us by the rogue Planet X. That's everything I want to show you guys today. Really appreciate if you follow us because we try to keep you updated with new videos coming out very often. Until we meet next time, stay safe and look to the skies, guys. This is JT at Exile, signing out.